Hello, good people of Ableton land. I am back with the first update to Celestine, my real-time granular device. There's a couple small bug fixes here and there, and then several people requested a change to the pitch control. Before it just shifted pitches in perfect fifths, like this. But now we have a button above where we can switch between perfect fifths and just by good old semitones. But the main thing in this update, the big one, is that in this update we now have full push support, and by that I mean this device is now fully controllable from a push 2, a push 3, or a push 3 standalone. So I've taken advantage of the new features added to the push in Live 12.3, and the main one is that these buttons up top can now be assigned to control buttons on a device. In the past, we had to waste a dial assigning to control these buttons that only are on and off, and it felt a bit silly, and now we don't have to do that, so cool. So we'll get right into this. We've now got 3 banks: global, grain, and effects. And these 3 banks cover every single parameter or button available on Celestine, so you can control the whole device without looking at your computer at all. So we'll start with the global bank. We can now control the move parameter. It's very tricky filming this. You should see the setup I'm using just to film the push and hold the microphone and all that at once. I don't want my fingers to obscure the screen. So we can control the move control. We can also press reverse to move the playhead in reverse. Turn it off. Next we have the sync dial, and you'll see there is no dial because sync is not engaged, but when it is, we now have the dial of the grid. Next we have the playhead control, so we'll turn this back to manual so we can move the playhead like so. And then we've got the grid button up top to switch to the 8 playhead positions. Next we've got the dry wet control, and then the live input toggle above. Moving on, we've got the input gain, and then above we've got a button to switch between all the grain modes, which is actually present in all of the banks. And you'll see it's duplicated as a dial next to that. And then lastly, we have a little bit of an Easter egg. So this is actually not available on the software version of Celestine, but it is behind the scenes. And I had an extra dial, so I thought I'd throw it in. It's grain shape, a subtle dial just to change the grain's envelopes slightly. So that is the global bank. We'll go to grain now. This is your typical granular controls. We've got spray, and we've got density, we've got size, and we also have the corresponding sync button for size, so we can switch to sync mode, and then we can adjust the size by time divisions. Next we've got the pitch dial here, and right now in the perfect fifths mode, and then we can switch to good old semitones. And you'll see that each of these 2 pitch dials remembers their settings, so we can actually switch back and forth to 2 different pitches, kind of in a playable way. Then we've got the jitter control, and the live input above. Then we've got the grain mode there, and then we've got the spread control below. Then we've got the stereo control, and then we've got reverse. Lastly, on the effects bank, we have the magic mode selector and magic amount. Then we've got the dirt section, we've got the wavefold amount, the big crush amount, and the dirt mix. Then we've got the reverb section, so we've got the decay and the mix. And then we've got the smooth knob here, and technically this should be in the grain page, but I didn't have room, so I had to stick it over here at the end. But I do think it sort of makes sense because it's somewhat of a finishing feature. So that is the 2.1 update to Celestine. I hope you enjoy. I had a lot of people reaching out to me asking about push compatibility, so here you are, good people. And also there was a very kind early beta tester of the device named Lee, who actually lent me his Push 3 for a few weeks so that I could hunker down and really make sure that the push mappings were perfect. So thank you, Lee, so much for that. Much appreciated. I could not have done it without your help. And I hope you're all having a nice December. It's a very hectic time of year, and I hope you find some time to just be still and be calm, make some music, and to be near your loved ones. And this is also a tough time of year for some people. I've definitely had some tough Christmases in the past. So I hope you're all doing great. And if you're not, honestly, reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Let's talk. Please keep sending me your music. It's very cool to hear music made with my devices. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you for your time. I will talk to you soon, and peace.